Hello, Cousin Johnny here. I'd like to shout out to the sponsors of the Buzzin' with Cousin show. Max Fit Meals, 520 Fremont Street, Monterey. Grab and go healthy meals. They're delish. I Heart You Candles and Gifts, 329 Lighthouse in Monterey. Also Tuesday night at Farmers Market, Monterey. That garlic stuff. If you like garlic, you're going to love that garlic stuff. Tuesday at Monterey Farmers Market. And go to thatgarlicstuff.com for more information and more locations. Destination 831. Live streaming. Promote yourself. Promote your business. Destination 831. Go to Facebook, and Kevin Armstead will take care of you. The Sweet Spot on 9 Delfino Place, Carmel Valley, California. Beautiful spot. Sit out there in the sun. You got olive oil. You've got wine tasting. You got sandwiches, baked goods. The Sweet Spot. 9 Delfino Place, Carmel Valley. Thank you, the sponsors, for helping out. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Hello, welcome to Buzzin' with Cousin Johnny here. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's doing good. It's a great day. I'm excited about our guest today. And before further ado, I'd like to introduce her. And let me introduce Janice Marotta Perl. Janice, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Johnny.
How you doing?
Doing great. It's a beautiful day.
Love it. Appreciate you coming on. And before we get going, I want to thank you and your whole Marotta family of what you've got done in the community over the years and still doing it today. So we thank you. And the statue of your dad was, or Pops Marotta, was great. It is great. And I'm there every now and then. I go down, I sit down, and we shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
So thank you. So yeah. Janice, so you grew up in Monterey, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
And you left for a while. Take us down a trip down memory lane. Where did you go and what?
Sure. My whole life, my family was involved in the arts, obviously, and we owned a music store. My dad owned a music store, and we all took piano lessons, whether we wanted to or not. So my whole life I took piano lessons, but I fell in love with dance while I was in first grade. Actually, at Santa Catalina, they had a dance program all through elementary school, and my parents put me in dance classes at a very young age, in addition to what we had at school. Long story short is I started excelling in that area. And by the time I was in high school, I was teaching dance classes at the high school after school and doing performances and getting some PE credit for it because the PE teachers really liked what was going on. We had a little dance club. Yeah. And then soon after, I worked for the city of Monterey and taught classes for them. And then I moved to LA and began working in a dance studio, teaching. And I got a job in Belgium, teaching in Belgium. Came back from a 3-month stint of doing that and auditioned for a television special, which included Mikhail Baryshnikov, Liza Minnelli, Nell Carter, and a bunch of other people. It was called IBM Presents Baryshnikov on Broadway. And I got a role for that show. That was a lot of fun. And then shortly after that, I auditioned for the Dick Clark tour. And because I had been studying dance with the choreographer, at one of the studios, professional level classes. I got a really good part in that show, and we traveled with Dick Clark and Gary U.S. Bonds and the Platters and Danny and the Juniors, and that was a lot of fun. And then came back and unfortunately had a bad injury, and that's what ended my dance career. But during that tour, I was singing as well as dancing. And so I just started focusing all my energy on singing, and that's where it kind of began.
Wow. I mean, you were in Belgium. That must have been an experience going
Very
there
much so. Yep.
and being with those artists that you were talking about. Especially, I got a soft spot for Liza Minnelli.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it was great. So that's really great. And so now you're back in Monterey.
I've been back in Monterey for a long time. Yep.
You're not going anywhere.
No,
You're not
no.
going. You're going to stay here with us. So Janice, so now, are you you're working as an instructor at Dennis Murphy School of Music, right?
Correct.
And
Yep.
that's one of the probably 100 things that you do. And
Well, in the music business, you can't just have one job. You have to have
right,
lots of jobs and piecemeal it all together. But
and I want to give a plug to Dennis Murphy School of Music for uh, what you do, and that's from 7 years old to adults, and
oh
that's
yeah.
top notch. And I've looked at the roster of instructors, and every single person is an all star. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
an all star person, and there's some unusual instruments too. You got bagpipes, you got a banjo, you got a mandolin, you've got voice. You're the voice instructor. So let's give a shout out to Dennis Murphy School of Music.
Yes.
And
And Paula Arnold, who is his partner,
okay,
very
that's
instrumental in
yeah,
getting that school going and keeping it going.
yeah. Thank you
Both of them. Yeah.
thank you, Paula. Thank you for bringing that up. And you're working? Are you at Trinity High School or you?
Yeah. I just teach one class there. It's a performing arts class. And I've been there since the day the school started. It's a very, very part-time job. And we just teach the kids singing and dancing and acting, mostly from Broadway shows. In the past, I had a jazz ensemble there, but that kind of ended when the pandemic started.
Yeah,
And now we're just focusing on the musical theater end of things. And it's a lot of fun working with that
uh,
school.
Trinity High. I love it because it's a small school,
Mm-hmm.
and you get like a guy, a quarterback on the football team one day, the next day he's in
On stage. Yeah.
and
Well, our class is unusual because usually performing arts is after school, but they actually built it into the schedule so that we can have all the football players and the basketball players and the baseball players. In fact, we have more guys than we have girls in our performing arts classes.
I think
And it's been that way for years.
now it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago, but I think you were there. You do the Guys and Dolls show?
Yeah, we sure did. Yep.
My my friend of mine was in it, and he invited me to a Shoreline where they had the show.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it, and his name was Ryan Bear.
Oh yeah, big guy.
Big, big guy.
We call him Biggie.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, what a job! It was really. Thank you for that. And I didn't know that until I looked at your bio.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great show.
Thank you.
And you're involved in the jazz festival, right?
Right. I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. I was brought on by Paul Contos, who then was the education director
Oh yeah.
for the Monterey Jazz Festival, to co-direct the Honor Jazz Vocal Ensemble. And what that is we pick students from all the different high schools in Monterey County who are top-notch singers and want to learn about jazz singing, because it's quite different than singing in normal choirs. It's just a lot different than singing in musical theater, because it involves a lot of improvisation. So that was, I don't remember which year it was, but we auditioned kids from all over the county, from different choir classes or music classes from all over the county. And there's an all-star band, and then there's an all-star vocal ensemble. And so we, Rob Clevin and I, Dr. Clevin, co-direct that together. And it's a lot of fun. We're actually meeting at Dennis Murphy School of Music right now, and rehearsing. And then we perform at the end of a term, usually during the summer, during the fall, usually at the Monterey Jazz Festival, at the Los Gatos Jazz Festival, which is called Jazz on the Plaz, San Jose Jazz Festival. Then we do some private events, like the Rotary Club has them perform, and various different performances throughout the community, so that these high school students get a feel for what it's like to be involved in jazz, whereas they wouldn't get that in school usually, because most band teachers and choir teachers can't get extensively into one genre because they're doing so many genres. So it's a little bit of a more defined, more focused opportunity for the really top-notch students.
Wow, what a thrill to be
Mhm.
involved in the jazz festival with these students that are going to be top notch jazz musicians and singers. So hats
Yeah,
off to you
we
on that.
we've had a few of them go off to college and get their degrees in jazz, and one of them is my daughter.
Oh, I
So,
was that was
yeah,
coming up. That question was
yeah,
coming up, and
they
uh,
just fall in love with it, and they wanna do it as a career, so
I mean, your daughter, another generation of what of your
mhm.
family, and I've heard her in action, and she is dynamite, and really enjoy it. And I've seen her a couple times down at Medici downtown Monterey, which we're going to talk about now. Now, your daughter is also an instructor.
Yeah, she's almost full-time instructor now at Dennis Murphy School of Music.
Man, that is unbelievable. That's really
Yeah.
great.
But she learned so much in college. She went to one of the finest vocal jazz programs in the country, University of Northern Colorado.
Okay.
They are the top vocal jazz group in the country, winning Downbeat Magazine awards every year. Her teachers were two of the best teachers, and so she was in that program for 5 years. And she learned so much, and she has so much to teach and so much to share, then in that very focused field. And she also used to do a lot of musical theater when she was young. She was Annie when they did Annie at Pac Rep, and she was Veruca when they did Willy Wonka. So she's had some really good theater opportunities through Pac Rep and the Forest Theater Guild. So she can kind of cross over into musical theater. And she's actually going to be vocal directing her first show this coming June. She'll be vocal directing Little Shop of Horrors
Oh,
for the
wow.
for the Forest Theater Guild, and that show will be at the Forest Theater. So that'll be her first vocal directing job. But she's had a lot of experience teaching camps, Dennis Murphy camps,
Man,
forever.
and she's young. I mean,
She's not that young. She looks young. She's 26.
okay.
Yeah, she looks a lot younger, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's really good, and
Hmm.
that is your influence and your family's influence for your
Yeah.
daughter, Miranda Pearl. So if you hear the name, go check her out.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be doing. You're a director for the Forest Theater, which is part of Pack Rat.
Well, so the Forest Theater itself is just a theater that the city of Carmel owns,
Okay.
but there's several theater companies that can use it. So
Okay.
Pack Rep is one of the main ones that uses it, and I think they're managing it now. And Forest Theater Guild also uses it, can rent it, and other entities can rent it. So, but I personally have done 2 shows for Forest Theater Guild, but I probably, this will be my 6th or 7th show this summer that I'm doing for Pack Rep. I'm one of their many vocal directors.
They're doing. You're going to be doing one of my favorite musicals because I'm one of these guys. I just love musicals, and you're going to be doing. I can't remember.
Mary
Oh, Mary
Poppins.
Poppins. Yeah, Mary Poppins, and that's going to be great. I mean, you're going to have her flying in, or
Oh yeah, they're going to do the whole flying rig and everything. Pack Rep has done a lot of flying shows. They've done Peter Pan so many times, which is a lot of flying, and they did Willy Wonka, which was a lot of flying.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, they have the witch flying in and out all the time. Oh, Little Mermaid, Ariel, and all the undersea creatures, they were
Nice.
flying.
Nice.
It's quite an extensive rig that they get from out of state, and it's, they have people backstage pulling ropes and everything.
Now that theater has been remodeled recently, and
Mm-hmm.
haven't been there since it's been remodeled. But I'm gonna definitely go to that show, Mary Poppins, and it starts in August.
Yes.
I believe it's in August. I love the Forest Theater because you could bring a picnic.
Yep. It's a super special place for sure.
You could bring food and sandwiches or whatever. You could bring wine, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's a fun thing to do with a group of people, and everybody's laughing, sharing their food and wine, and it's really
Mm-hmm. It's a party for sure every night. Big
yeah.
party.
Now you're a coordinator for some nice jazz venues in Monterey. One of them is Medici downtown Alvarado Street. So, and there's music there. What is it? Thursday and Sunday.
Yes. Yes.
And what is it, from 5 to 9 or something? Or
On Thursdays, it's from 6 to 9, and on Sundays, it's from 5 to 8. And that's the landlord has asked us to do it earlier on Sundays because there are apartments upstairs.
yeah.
Yeah.
But let me tell all the listeners out there that you want a nice, relaxing, early evening. Go down to Medici. Grab a pizza and listen to some really great jazz. And it's an early night. You're home by 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out. And I'm so glad that these venues, after this pandemic, these venues are popping up that never would have been around. Now they're
Right.
starting to pop up, and I love it. And I've been there a bunch of times, and we love going down there. And we love seeing you, and we love all the musicians. Also, Gusto's has got music too, and you're involved with Gusto's and Seaside. So,
Tuesday nights.
and that's Tuesday.
Tuesday night. Yep.
And there's also jazz.
That one isn't exclusively jazz, but I do have a full roster of great duos. All of them are vocal duos because specifically that's what the venue requested. So lots of great vocalists, duos, where I just felt like there were so many other places that are doing other genres of music that I wanted to focus mostly on jazz. And because I know all of the jazz musicians, I am a jazz musician. So,
And
and then, all these other great venues like the Urban Lounge and Salty Seal and,
yeah,
Chibo and Sly McFly, they're all doing multiple genres. And there's plenty of places, and Lucy's, plenty of places for the rock bands to play now, which is
Yeah,
great. I'm
that's
happy about that.
beautiful.
Yeah. So I just like to stay focused on one thing. And that way people know when they get there what to expect. You know, they're always going to have jazz. I do cross over a little bit at Gusto. I'll have maybe Two Rivers there, which is Richard Bryant and Kyle Kovalik.
Oh yeah,
But
God,
they're so top notch, you know, that
love it.
everybody loves them.
Yeah, they are really. Now, what
Mhm.
about you? Are you on it scheduled at any of the venues every now and then?
Yeah, I usually schedule myself once a month. Um, so it's just I also do the jams. I really enjoy doing the jams, the jazz jams, which I'm doing about once every 2 months, where I get to hire a trio of professional, top-notch professionals, and all the local musicians can come and join in and play together. Last Sunday, we had a huge jam. We had 2 trombone players, 4 additional drummers, in addition to our house drummer, who was Leon Joyce Jr. Oh, by the way, who does the jazz at Deja Blue. I forgot to mention Deja
Oh
Blue.
yes, yes.
That's
What
a
a
great
great,
on Wednesday
great new
night.
venue.
Great.
Great new
hmm
venue.
Yeah. Um, really nice. And so he was our house drummer. We had a couple of singers. Uh, we had a trumpet player, the great Brian Stock.
Oh yes,
Uh,
years and years of yeah.
mhm. Richard Stainton on sax. We had Craig Yardstrom on trombone and Felix Contreras on trombone. So we had a really fun jam on Sunday. And then the next jam is going to be on June 5th. And that's going to have Gary Meek as the house band with Dennis Murphy. And I'm not haven't secured the drummer quite yet, almost. So I don't want to mention the person's name, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a great house band. And usually when I book a really awesome house band, all the horn players will come because they want to play with these guys. And I don't blame
Yeah.
them. I would want to play with them too if I was a horn player.
I
So,
mean, just those two names of Dennis Murphy and
mhm,
Gary Peak, just
yeah.
those names. It's just
They're
yeah,
amazing. So I just feel very fortunate that the owner of Medici just kind of lets me do whatever I feel like doing, and he trusts me 100%. And he's always so grateful. Every time we have a show there, he goes, "Thank you so much." And he says it to the musicians. He treats the musicians so well. He feeds them. You
yeah.
know, not all venues do that, you
No, they
know.
don't.
Um, he's so grateful and so humble, and so that's why I just keep it going, because it's a perfect combination of something
Yeah,
I love to do and he loves having us. And we just met with Roger Thompson. He used to be the chair of the theater department at Santa Catalina School, and he's going to bring in some theater lights, so it'll make it look a little more, showbiz.
yeah,
And so Jeremy, you know, he's committed to doing improvements to make it look better, sound better, all of that. Jeremy's
that's
the owner. Yeah.
well, that's really great. So I want
hmm
everybody out there to take advantage of this great music and great venue and go down and say hello to Janice. So Janice, I really appreciate you coming on and buzzing with cousin. And I want you to know that on my Facebook page, if there's an event that you want to promote or you want to let everybody know, you feel free to go on there and just post it
Okay.
so we know.
Yeah.
And if there's anything else you'd like to say, because I'm going to play a segment of you and the band uh, playing some.
Okay. Yeah, so what this is during the pandemic, my brother and I decided we wanted to put together an album, since we didn't have anything else to do, because everything had been, canned as
Yeah,
far as our work is concerned. He's a studio musician in LA, and I, as you know, do a lot of choir stuff and vocal directing. So we started putting together music. We got Bill Spencer to produce, and the first song that you're going to play right now It includes my brother, Mike Marotta Jr. on accordion, my brother Dave Marotta on bass,
Right.
John Ferraro on drums, who's a studio musician in Los Angeles. My daughter Miranda is singing
Nice.
background vocals, and of course Bill Spencer. And it's one of my favorite songs of all time, Pure Imagination, from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But this is a very special arrangement that Bill Spencer arranged just for me, and it's pretty cool.
Okay, well, we're going to be looking forward to listening to it now. Janice, thank you for coming on. Thank you, all the listeners, for coming on today and enjoying this show. And enjoy this great music coming up right now.
We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What will be, will define by explanation. If you want a view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to eat, wanna change the world, there's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly